Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by a fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
In this video, I'll share with you 3 words, just 3, that after I listened to them, they changed my life forever. I mean, if you see me here today, it could be because of those 3 words that I heard when I was a very small boy. So watch this video and I hope you get some takeaway value out of it. And yeah, as always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because I do read them. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Loy Machedo. I'm a personal branding strategist. I help people get well-paying jobs in the Middle East, Saudi, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, but specifically UAE, Dubai. And then people who are migrating to Canada, Australia, Europe, they take my guidance and advice, even US. Finally, people, when they cannot talk to anyone or share their problems, they need a different opinion, they come to me for coaching, consulting. I give them my opinions. Details are put down below in the description. All right. See, when we are small children, when we are small, those are the formative years. Like they say, it can make you or break you. Why do you think religious groups, they make sure that the parents teach children about their religion, their God, their belief systems right from the time that they are born? Because the fact of the matter is, until the age of 7, whatever you learn or imbibe in a child, until the age of 7, the child will believe that is the explicit, infallible truth. They will take that as the ultimate truth. So whatever you tell them, you can tell them something racist, you can tell them something educational, you can even instill habits in them, like reading books and wanting to study or getting along with people. Those are the formative years. Unfortunately, not everyone has good parents or parents who can genuinely dedicate time. It can be a lot of variables, and majority of the cases, they don't have a parent who's there, either one or two. Even if one is working, the other one being there is a rarity. So in my case, I didn't have either parent. My stepfather was always working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, making money. He had just migrated to Dubai, UAE. And my mother, she was very money centric, so she would also focus on working 2 or 3 jobs and make money. So I was left alone in the house. Now unfortunately, if you are left with a caretaker, the caretaker should be someone who cares about you. In my case, I had my grandmother, my mother's mother. Now you might say, hey, thank goodness at least you have your relative instead of some babysitter who might abuse you. Well, although that is, yes, I'm lucky that I didn't get some evil person. We see a lot of these YouTubes, what they do physically, mentally, even sexually abuse. We see so many of these videos where they're caught red-handed. So though I escaped that, I got the other end of the stick, and that was my grandmother was a teacher for children. She had a very short fuse, and she would rain down explicit rants, all bad words, in the Konkani language, Konkani being Mangalorean, my mother's My mother and stepfather, they were Mangalorean. My real father was from Kerala. But I predominantly was raised in a Mangalorean Catholic household. So my grandmother used to give me bad words. Bad words like, you son of a bitch, you son of a whore, dirty blood, why were you born, should die, you should really die. And she would physically hit me also, with a stick or with a hand, or shout and scream, pull my hair. You're talking of 3-4-year-old. And she would do it every day. She would take care, but she would also abuse. So, as it is, I didn't have proper guidance from my parents. Then I had bad guidance from my grandmother. When I'd go to school, there was no guidance. There was only school boys bullying. And then when I'd go to church, which was once a week, there also the cool kids would bully me. And I was always yearning for attention, company, friendship. But I forget the fact that I didn't get any. There was also a core problem. I was very talkative. I had ADHD, which was not invented or discovered at that time. I was hyper. And when you're talking of a kid who's locked up in the house with no TV, those days, you know, that big TV box CRT monitor, and if you turn the channel with the knob, nothing used to come, only in the evenings. We never even had a proper antenna. You can Google search this if you don't know what I'm talking about. There was no Netflix, there was no internet. The phone, my parents would keep a phone in the house, which was given in Dubai those days by Itisalat. But my grandmother was instructed to keep the receiver so that I couldn't make any calls. Okay. So I lived like as if it was a jail. And I was not allowed to read any other books except school books, which was boring. And I was locked up in the house, and even though we were living in buildings that were all coupled together, children used to play down, but I was not allowed. Don't ask me why. So the second or the minute I would get freedom, that is school, to play, or church, for me that was not a place to study, that was a place to play and enjoy freedom. Church was not a place to pray, it was a place to, again, play around, have fun. So I was looked upon as a troublemaker, hyper. Nobody knew my story, nobody knew what I was going through. So everyone would brand me as mad. Oh shit, that mad guy has come back. Oh, lawyer. So I accepted that as my reality. That I was irritating, I was unwanted, I was stupid, I was dumb. All these things that my family and friends and relatives, instilled in me. And on top of that, my parents were very abusive, extremely physically abusive, very, very abusive. They would beat me like, don't ask. My stepfather used to beat me with a rubber cane and belt until blood would come out. He would hit me for half an hour to 45 minutes. Why? Because I would not get good marks, or teachers would complain. He's not paying attention in the class. So he thought hitting, well, actually he was removing his frustrations from work. There are many men who do that. And also given the fact that I was the son of the first man and he was in love with my wife, so I was a reminder of that. So I'm not telling you this story to get pity. I don't need your pity. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm a grown-ass man, 46. I'm telling you facts of my childhood so you understand what I'm getting at. So I always believed I was a mistake, troublemaker, I was idiot, I was dumb, I was all the negative stuff. But I used to play with the boys and some used to tolerate me. Until one day, I remember this incident so very vividly. So vividly. There was this boy, his name is Anton Novel Paul. He used to stay in a very posh building just near my house. Okay? And, our school bus used to drop children in a particular area. So I knew where these where Anto used to stay, and many boys used to come there to play cricket, just play cricket or play any football. Or this particular day, we were playing some games. I don't know. Some were playing cricket, some were playing, in the sand. And those days, when you had time off, you wouldn't look at a smartphone. There was no smartphone. There was no internet. There was no even video games. There was go outside and play. So I, used to run outside, and it was a distance almost like half a kilometer, but we used to play there. So playing. Suddenly, this boy, Novel Anto, whose father used to do well and financially, he was more like a creative man. White beard, completely, glasses, thin guy. Maybe if today his height would be so much. Okay. The mother was a housewife. Okay. So this boy was slightly pampered because he was very handsome looking, young, white, light skin, Indian. Good accent, but he was also a hot-tempered boy. Good upbringing, but very hot-tempered. So we were playing when I think Anto's father, a guy with a full white beard and glasses, came down. I don't know I don't know whether he was giving chocolates or what. All the children, all of us came running near him. I can't remember. Maybe he was giving chocolates. So he gave everyone or something like that. Because I remember coming running to him and everyone saying, Mr. Anto, they would say, morning sir, or good evening sir, or something like that. And I also ran to wish him. And to give you an idea, I was so small, like to my waist, and he was tall. I had to look up. I had to look up at him. So when I ran to him, I don't know, he asked, who's this boy? He asked, who's this boy? And he was smiling. He was giving me this big grin. So before I could answer, somebody, I don't know who, I think maybe it was Noel or I don't know who. He said, this guy is mad. Something like that. He is mad, he's stupid, or he is crazy, his name is Loy, or something like that. My normal nickname is. Immediately, I remember this so well. So I looked back, they said mad and this and that. And then I looked up at him, smiling. Hey, for me, I'm used to being insulted. And then he said, no, he's not mad, he's not crazy, he's not. What is his name? With a deep voice, baritone voice. So I said, my name is Loy. I looked up and said, my name is Loy. Okay? Looked up and said, my name is Loy. He looked down, gave me this big smile. He put his hand on my head and said, you know Loy? And I remember this to this day. He said, you're special. Okay? He said, you are special. Now, here's the funny thing. For you, you might be like, huh? That's it? You just said you are special? See, what you need to understand, for a child like me who never heard a compliment, who never heard anything worthwhile about me, who never heard anything good, to hear one man, especially the first ever man, a man who is, we boys look up to role models, for him to tell me, you are special. I was like, just imagine, it was so powerful that I remember it to this date. He said, you're special. When I looked up, I don't know, maybe the world stopped turning, or I just smiled. He smiled back. He patted me on the head and he said, "You're special and not mad, not crazy, and you'll grow up to be a very special boy." I didn't understand what he meant, that one day I'd grow up and be special. But the only three words that resonated with me is, "You are special." After that, he said, "Go play." I ran off, said bye. I didn't think much about it. I didn't remember it, nothing. But this word, "you're special," in a very funny way, rang in my head. And I had, I think, 2 or 3 other incidents that happened where these men-like figure, they repeated the same words, "You are special." My father's cousin, who introduced me to Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, imagine, from his collection, he one day came to the house. My father was dismissing me and saying, "He's mad, he's a troublemaker, sorry he's troubling you." We had a small get-together in the house, small party. He said, no, he's a smart boy. He repeated, "You are special." And that began my journey of reading books, non-fiction. The first book I read was Grow Rich with Peace of Mind, which he gave me. And in that book, Napoleon Hill's, although it's today debunked as pseudoscience, but that time, to hear the words special and the book to tell you, you have greatness in you. For a young man of 14, 15, it was a big thing. I remember my headmaster, the man I used to absolutely hate. I'll make a separate video on this about my headmaster. His name is Mr. Nair. Those of you who know Sarja Indian School, there was a headmaster called Mr. Nair who later on became Radhakrishnan Nair, who later on became the principal. And that time headmaster was Radhakrishnan Nair and the principal was KNN Pillai or something. In school, everyone branded me as a troublemaker. And I remember there was this board exams, 9th standard. They would put the fear of God in you, that this exam will determine your life, and if you fail in this, you're finished. And you know how CBSE Indian education is. So they scared the bejesus out of me. So I'd failed all the subjects. 33 out of 100. The scoring, 33% is pass marks. I would get less than 33 in all subjects except English. So, to my shock and surprise, my parents said, "Oh, he's failed, he's useless, he's this, he's that." Parents are supposed to meet during teacher-student day, open house. This man who I hated, he stood up for me. He said, "Let him appear for exam," and he pulled my belt when he was talking to me. "You're such a talented boy, so special. Why are you wasting your life?" Those words, again, rang a bell. Then the last episode I remember was my PT sir. This I'll make a separate video. I was training some girls in the morning shift, and we boys used to be in the evening or afternoon shift. Boys and girls would study separate, same school. So my mother went to this Ittihad Park, I think. It's near Gold Souk Saja. So we were going for a walk. I was wearing my track suit and track pant and acting like an idiot, walking. I think I was 16 or something. I saw a couple of girls. I was very happy. Little did I know that these girls were being trained by my PT sir. Again, the guy who I hated in my school. And when he saw me chasing them, he called me, "Hey, you come here." And something happened there that changed my life. Same, he used the same words. You're special. Stop wasting your talent. Such a special boy. I achieved something I never did. If you want to know more about that video, comment down below. I'll make a separate video on it. He also used it. So the point I'm trying to tell you is this word, you are special. For a youngster like me who used to only get abused, only abuse, only bad words, only insults, to hear that rarely said, but said at very powerful moments of my life, changed me. Now, please, one thing I'll request you. If you're a parent or you know some children, please don't start using this, you are special, because today's generation is different. Today's generation is told that they are special by social media companies. And the way to measure that is, likes, comments, shares, popularity online. Please don't say you are special. You'll go to their head. Rather, the right word to use is, you are hardworking. Your hard work is so amazing. So then they know you have to put in effort. Yes, nobody had told me that. But like giving a drop of water to someone who's thirsty makes a difference. I wish they had told me, you're incredibly hardworking. That is why you're special. Maybe I would have made different decisions in life. But those words, you are special, really, really changed me. I never knew that I was yearning for someone to say they believe in me, someone to say you can do it, someone to say you're destined for greatness. I never knew that. In fact, I never even bother, just going through life. So being told you are special changed the trajectory of my life, because these were the words that made me believe in myself when the going went tough, when I failed, when I didn't achieve the results, moments when I contemplated killing myself, when I had to cry, when friends kind of betrayed me, when there was no companion, when I lost, moments of doubts where you face failure after failure. These words made me believe that I was destined for something. I didn't know what. In hindsight today, I would just say those three words saved my life. They just gave me hope and belief in myself. Maybe it was a lie. Maybe it was false. Maybe I was not special. Maybe I'm just like everyone else. Maybe all these tattoos and all that is to reinforce that I'm special. You can take 100 different versions of it. But those words prove to be powerful. So if there's something of value that I would like to give you here is, one is, if you have a lot of self-doubt and, you are going through tough times, or you keep failing, or you have a lot of, you don't believe in yourself, or low self-esteem, or whatever. Now, I'm not going to tell you, you are special, you can do it. No. Rather, I would tell you that if without any guidance, without any mentor, without proper parenting, without proper education, without anything proper, if I could believe in myself because of these words that stated I was special, if you genuinely, from your heart of hearts, not just verbally say it, if you genuinely believe that you are destined also for something, that spirit, that belief